This is a first for me. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Low End University. If there's one constant in my experience running this channel, it's that rarely, if ever, a week goes by without a request for Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick by Ian Dury and the Blockheads. This was the group's most successful single, going #1 in the UK in 1979 and simultaneously being a top 20 hit in many other European countries. And it's landed in all sorts of top press rankings, even was hailed as the third best post-punk 7-inch ever released by Fact magazine. But there's so much history to sift through with this group, and I'm trying to get my head around the distinction between Ian Dury, the Blockheads. I've read them credited and billed together, sometimes separate. I guess it reminds me of the same arrangement as Elvis Costello and the Attractions, this sort of format of soloist and backing band, mutually exclusive musically, but build together often. Before we start, I stumbled upon a neat bit of history about the track that's totally worth sharing. Producer Lori Latham, who produced this track, remarked that I myself wasn't entirely happy because I didn't think we could hear enough bass. But then again, I'm never happy with mixes, and after more criticism of the mix, he said, I suppose all these blemishes give the track a certain character, and if people do talk about the bass, then that suggests they can hear it. Very curious to see if I feel it's loud enough, and this was all interesting to read after learning that the band recorded the entire thing live, did 11 takes, but chose a much earlier mix that nobody was happy with. So who chose the mix? Anyway, let's check this bad boy out. Here is Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick from Ian Dury and the Blockheads. Ooh, this is groovy.
The deserts of Sudan and the gardens of Japan.
Oh man, that's a booger of a bass line.
To Yucatan, every woman's, every man. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me, hit me. Je t'adore, ich liebe dich. Hit me.
Yeah, we'll get to that 16th note, monster bass line, but I just love how it all comes together here in this chorus, and the bass isn't meandering so much, and everything is just such in unison there. The bass octaves, the chords, the vocal melody. That's just great songwriting. I'm very hypersensitive to that sort of everything spread out in the verses, and it just converges for the chorus, and that's the impact from a compositional standpoint. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. This is like bass gymnastics, straight 16th notes. I'm sure it stops here and there with some 8th notes, but a nimble booger of a bass line. I think we're down here in F. Kind of pentatonic. Let me hear it one more time. Yep, slides up.
The deserts.
Okay, now it's going up an octave, which is cool, that it goes up an octave right when the vocal enters, and the vocal starts a bit lower in register, so maybe that's like, hey, the bass player's getting out of the way. So just as far as the bass line, I know this is going to be the staple of this track. I imagine it's doing this the entire time. F minor sort of pentatonic, which that first position's tough with that 4-fret stretch. I'm on a 35-inch scale. I normally prefer a 34-inch, but you're going to be dealing with this. So, two-finger plucking is how I would approach it, and I actually think the most difficult part about bass lines like this, most people think it's the speed and the stamina and the plucking. It's really transitioning to other chord changes and ranges of the neck and keeping that same nimble 16th groove, because that's often where you lose the time, the whole... and then jumping up here and doing it, which is what happens here. That type of thing. And it sounds like the notes change a little on the inner beats. And to go back to what I was saying in the intro, if the bass is loud enough, it's one of those things where some of the muffled nature of the bass, you might lose some of the nuances that I feel are there. So I might have to fill in the gaps with my imagination on some of the changes. But I think I can hear that it's there, and I think the compositional style and arranging is a big part of why you can hear the bass, but I think when it gets dense, you might lose some of the details. One more time from the beginning, and go right into that chorus, which is super impactful. 4-5-1. Bass goes up an octave.
In the deserts
That's neat.
of Sudan and the gardens of Japan, from Milan to Yucatan, every woman's, every man.
A little bluesy too.
Hit me with your rhythm stick.
So bouncy
Hit
here.
me, hit me. Je t'adore, ich liebe dich. Hit me, hit me, hit me. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me slowly.
Nice chromatic. Really leaning into the bounciness with that top note in the octave. That type of thing. Yeah, and the bass line covers a lot of ground here in the verse. I think the intro establishes that theme. I kind of feel like it's doing this. Kind of on the inner beats. Like pickup notes to each downbeat. But here in the verse, I think it goes up to a D flat, so up to the 6th in F minor. A little bit of chromaticism. It sounded a bit bluesy. Let's go right back where that chorus starts.
Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me, hit me. Je t'adore, ich liebe dich. Hit me, hit me, hit me. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me slowly, hit me quick. Hit me, hit me. Hit.
I love too when bass lines, or I guess this is the whole chord progression. It goes up chromatically, ascending chromatically, provides tension without anything really being dissonant. It's just kind of this anticipatory. It just adds that bit of tension, but when you do it back down, it offers this weird sort of release. It's like deflating tension. Right here, I love the character of this.
Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me slowly, hit me quick. Hit me.
It almost has this weird demented sound, so I love the the nature of this chorus having that playful chromaticism in it. And again, it's very impactful that everyone's doing it together. And I think the bass simplifying is its own impact, because you're used to hearing this technical. Now just to go to the. It's a bit more Motownish. I love it. That's a cool contrast. All right. Ooh. Let's start on a different count there. No. Four-y and I think that's what it does there. Definitely playing around with some of that inner beat theme in the rhythms. Yeah.
In the wilds of Borneo and the vineyards
Might be a little different here.
of Bordeaux, Eskimo, Arapaho,
Sort of has this so very Tower of Power-ish. You know, I cut my teeth on Rocco Prestia growing up. I spent a lot of time being obsessed with that style of playing, so this is very nostalgic for me. I've never heard this song. A bit before my time. I'm not sure if songs like this really crossed over into the States. You know, there's been a lot of that realization here on the channel. These really popular songs in British culture. It sounds so much like other songs and artists I really loved from this era. Kind of the thing with The Who for me as well. Just didn't hear a lot of them growing up.
move their body.
Dug at it? Yeah. Almost has that. So it's kind of that bit of that bluesiness in there, just on that D flat chord, it sounds like.
To and fro. Hit me with your rhythm stick.
Landing on that major 7 in a minor key. So that E, sort of an accidental E natural, because normally we've been in F minor. A little bit more of that tense chromatic passing tone thing there, which brings it so nicely back to the F minor on the 1 here. Right there.
With your rhythm stick. Hit me. Das ist gut, say fantastic. Hit me. Hit me with your rhythm stick. It's nice to...
Okay, a problem I'm dealing with, I think, here is the track is a little off of 440, so some of these half-step changes are tough. But I feel like that's going up to the major 3rd. And then the next time it goes to the minor 3rd, major 3rd, to, lean into that chromaticism once again. To go up to the 4. So that's a cool dark and light thing. The verses being very F minor pentatonic on that A flat. And then the chorus, more major sounding. That's what's happening. It's almost like between pitches. This happens a lot with older recordings, tape sped up, slowed down, that type of thing.
Das ist gut, say fantastic. Hit me. Hit me with your rhythm stick. It's nice to
then it's different.
A lunatic. Hit me. Ooh.
Gotta love a good horn solo. Why does he have 2 saxophones? I mean, I think that's a rhetorical question. He probably uses them both for the song. He's swapping between each of them for different song sections. But this starts out with your classic one-note saxophone solo entrance. There's something catchy about taking all of the notes away and just riding on one note. Whatever. He kind of has that approach. It's just very classic take for a horn solo. I love it. Right here.
Hit me.
Love it. Cool. Let's see if he switches. Also dawned on me too that he's not using 2 hands, which is what's required on a saxophone, but he's still picking a range of notes that I guess he can do it on 1 hand with. I do play trumpet. I think my second or third choice when I was in beginner band in junior high, I wanted to do saxophone. My dad played trumpet, so I went the brass route. So I've always been really fascinated with great saxophone stuff.
Hit me.
Okay. That's shrill. This is a first for me. I don't think I've ever seen somebody play them at the same damn time. What's going on here? What is the sorcery? What a detour. These sort of off-kilter intervals here. Almost add some dissonance. What a cool way to come back in. If I'm just thinking about the composition here, you had this screaming sax solo that actually was pretty shrill at the end there. But the contrast of everything falling out as the saxophone ends and you just go to this drum. It's just drum beat sort of by itself. Then you come in with this whole different approach to the sax. Dissonant intervals. This guy playing them both at the same time. For its time, this is pretty imaginative, I have to say. One more time going into that. Listen to the way that the saxophone drops out, the contrast, just the space that opens up. When that sax hangs over and it just goes straight to drums. It's a little too long, but I get it. It's like... It sets this up perfectly, though. Okay, bass line back in.
In the dock of Tiger Bay, on the road to Mandalay.
You can hear the bass a bit more on the verses. Maybe it's because he goes up an octave. But yeah, same type of thing here. Starts off low, vocals come in, bass goes up an octave. Again, I think that's the challenging part, is keeping that 16th note pulse locked in on the pocket, but moving around. Because I have a feeling it's down here, and a quick flash, or up here. But he slides right into it. So keeping that all on the 16th note grid, you got to really be in the pocket.
From Bombay to Santa Fe.
And I love those little pauses. I feel like the drums and the bass take a little breath. It's like, listen right there. That's really tasty stuff I'm picking up on the more I hear that, them together.
On the road to Mandalay. From Bombay to Santa Fe.
Yeah, it's very subtle. You just hear that little break there. I feel like that was an intentional thing put there in the groove.
To Santa Fe.
Right there, but just a breath. I'm not going to keep zooming in on it, but it gives that groove so much life and just flow. I think those little moments of 8th note rests are important. Otherwise, if it's all 16th notes all the time, it just loses the effect. So you got to just kind of grab the listener with a rest, which a lot of people don't think about when thinking about technical bass lines or parts. Put some rests in there. It makes everything else have more context. I dig it.
O'er the hills and far away. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me. Says he won't. He says
Yeah, obviously it's not lined up here with what he's playing, but it's good to at least see the shapes. I think he's playing more of the chorus there before the chorus started.
hit me with your rhythm stick. Two fat persons, click, click, click. Hit me.
Big, strong of 4 again, 4 E and
Hit me.
Love that.
Hit me.
Yeah. I love the phrasing of it. Kind of getting it.
Hit me.
Something cool too. I love that there's a clip right there of the bass player. He throws his hand up in that little rest. I think I find myself doing that type of thing too on bass. Just little movements that help you keep time past nodding your head or tapping your foot. Sometimes it's done in the hands, a positioning thing with the hands. Watch it right here. And I think that's how he kind of feels that groove. Where was it? Yeah, right here. So on the 4, when it goes, he kind of throws his hand up like this. I love that. It's like a little rhythmic quirk musicians just do sometimes to find the pulse or maybe feel an accent or a count. Watch his plucking hand on bass. It's almost like he's raking upwards. He could be. This is a fuzzy older clip, but I think it's just more of that sort of, just to feel that rest. Just something I noticed. I relate to that. Fast. That's one of those bass lines you just have to sit down with and really zoom in on the nuances to get the right character. I need to go look up like an official transcription. I'm sure this has been covered ad nauseum on YouTube by some great players. It's bass gymnastics that has all of the classic elements I like about bass lines I grew up listening to. Again, Tower of Power, James Jamerson. It's got a lot of that Motownish inspiration, but kind of repackaged in this British new wave post-punk thing, which is very new to me until I started covering a lot of these bands here on the channel. Almost reminds me a bit of the Specials. That's a highlight band I've discovered from you guys requesting them. So I know there's a couple of adjacent branches here in the musical family tree, maybe separated by geography, but I love everything about this bass line. I can tell why it's a classic, really fun. I'm going to go look it up. But thank you guys for requesting Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick for literally like 2 years now. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. If you'd like to support the channel further, please come find us over on Patreon. I do full albums each month over there. We have a thriving community of great people. I also have bass lessons, music theory lessons, and just everything Lowen University is kind of all in one place. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do that now. I love you all. We'll see you in the next one.